Welcome back to TK Civics. If I told you there was a way to eliminate corruption from our political system and replace all career politicians with temporary public servants, and what I mean by replacing all career politicians, I mean from both parties, would you support it? Well, of course you would. And it doesn't matter if you're MAGA, liberal, or anywhere in between. Everyone understands that the root cause of every issue we face in America is the corruption by the wealthy and our politicians who don't represent us. So there's only one question left. If the vast majority of people would support it, why aren't we? And it's because we're being divided at all times, using the strategy, the timeless strategy of divide and conquer. And I started this channel as a fierce independent to try and get people to focus on what really matters, and that's eliminating the corruption. And most people think it's too late, it can't happen. That's not true. It is mathematically a certainty that it could happen if 50 to 70 million people heard this message and united behind eliminating corruption. And what people also forget is that something like this, or that you didn't have to vote for blue or red, almost happened in 1992, which is not that long ago. And that happened with the Reform Party. But everybody, especially both parties, want you to forget about this. The Reform Party, led by Ross Perot, was leading the polls in the 1992 presidential election. So that had nothing to do with about replacing all existing career politicians like I'm telling you here. But the point is that during that election cycle, Ross Perot had more than 39% of the polling in that election cycle until he withdrew for a period of time, and then it dropped. But he still ended up getting about 20% of the popular vote. And people just want to forget that in 1992, a third-party candidate almost won the presidency. And that goes to show, while it didn't happen, because there was never enough support, there was never enough buildup beforehand, and Ross Perot was a very flawed candidate. The point that I'm trying to make is that whether you are blue or red, you don't have to be stuck in these psychological prisons believing that we only can vote red or blue. It is true today that you only have a two-party system and that there's no candidate strong enough that could win elections. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. And that's the point of my channel here on TK Civics, is to start raising awareness and start building a community, because I have a plan that could bring representation back to the people. And it certainly would if 50 to 70 million people heard this message and decided to unite behind it. I have an extensive plan. It's a 5-step plan. You can read it on Medium and on Substack, and you can find the link to it in the description below. And that's all I'm asking, is for your support here on TK Civics, to subscribe, to read the plan, and if you find it appealing, and if it's something that you could support, please support it. Most people think 50 to 70 million people is a big number, but it's not that big of a number. It's a number that is reasonable and could be accomplished, specifically in today's world, easier than ever. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's not complex, and it certainly could happen because of social media and our ability to get the word out. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like and leave me some comments, and please share my messages as far and broadly as possible. I'll see you in the next one, and let's poke America.